This is my first time back in a kayak in probably, I'd say, 6 weeks. Stay tuned, and I'll tell you why.
Take out the papers and the trash, or you don't get no spending cash. If you don't scrub that kitchen floor, you ain't gonna rock and roll no more.
Don't talk back.
Woo! So I'm back out here on the east end of Paddock Lake. It is a nice warm August evening, August the 3rd, and it's roughly about 7:15, 20 after 7, something like that. So I'm not out here for a long time because the sun goes down around 8:30 now, or just beyond that. Don't have much time out here. But like I said in the intro, this is my first time back in the kayak in, I'm going to say, probably 6 weeks. And I have an interesting story. So my buddy Brent, who's also part of the canoe guys here, and we decided to go out onto Big Creek, just past Langton, Ontario, and Big Creek down to Rowan Mills. We were going to put in at the conservation area just past I think at County Road 8, and take out at Rowan Mills. And so it was going to be a great day, we thought. I went in the kayak, Brent and his son went in their canoe, and Big Creek lived up to its name that day. Let's see how it all started. A couple years ago we went to Big Creek in the canoe, Brent and I, and we actually had to put our canoe down about 6 feet until we got to the water. This time the water was right up, maybe had to go down 2 feet to put the canoe in. Getting the kayak in was a bit difficult. There's a little stream that ran off, and so I put in the stream and just kind of paddle out of there into the river. And so after that, it just went very badly. The river was high, it was flowing very fast. We had lots of rains lately, especially in July after this. So 2 years ago when Brent and I went in the canoe, we thought, geez, if the water was just a bit higher, we could go over lots of these down trees, the blowdowns. We did go under quite a bit then, but it turns out having the higher water wasn't probably that great of an idea, especially with the kayak. Kayaks and blowdowns and going over trees is not really that much fun. It's so much easier to get out of a canoe and pull over the canoe onto the other side of a blowdown, rather than trying to get out of a kayak, roll yourself out without tipping, and getting back into it without tipping. My lord, that's a big fish that just jumped. And so where was I? I got trapped under a tree. Not under a tree, but I was trying to get under it, and the current pushed the back end of the kayak towards the tree. And I'm trying to get the back end around so I can get under this tree that's like this. So I was trying to get this way, and instead my kayak was this way or against it. And as more I tried to push this way, it started to tilt under a bit, and the GoPro and the stand I had, I thought was secure enough to the kayak. Well, it wasn't true. The current started to push me under. As I went through, the current started to push me under. If this is the GoPro on the stand, it hit there, it went down. I saw it in slow motion going bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, and in the water, and I saw it floating away and say, goodbye, it's been a slice, see you never again. The current took that thing away, and it was gone, and it went right under, and there was no way of ever getting that back. Maybe if the water levels go down one day and we feel adventurous, maybe, but it's in my mind it's gone. So that was the big so after that, we got through that, and so I had my phone with me, so I thought, well, after that experience, I thought at least I could get some video with my phone, which I did, until the next mishap. Next mishap was probably another, I would say, an hour later. Again, the current's pushing so fast. Not too bad in most areas. It was very manageable, but when you get around trees in the water and that, it really seems to pick up. There's lots more flow. Water's hitting these trees and pushing you this way or that way. So I see this blowdown. I'm trying to go under this angle here. It's like this in the water, this on the land, this in the water. I'm trying to go underneath of it that way. And just ahead of it, probably about, good timing. Okay, so where was I? I'm in the weeds, that's where I am. So, like I say, I was trying to maneuver or aim for this gap under this tree that's blown down, but about, I'd say 20 feet, maybe not even that much, maybe 20 feet ahead of it, there was this tree with a branch hanging down and it had all these vines on it. So as I'm going through, going like this, paddling, as I'm paddling through, or trying to, this end here gets trapped up in those vines, and the current's still pushing me. I'm stopped, but the current is still pushing the kayak under me. So what's going to happen is, this is stopped, this is going, and then this goes like that. But I went right over into the water, flipped right over. I went under. I remember being under for maybe just a few seconds, if that, maybe half a second. I was down and up. I could feel my life jacket. This is the new one, but my other life jacket, it was just a Stearns one, and it worked just perfectly. You could feel it pull me right back up out of the water, so that was a good thing. Again, I was only like a foot from shore, from the bank, so it wasn't like I was out in the middle of the water in the deep areas, but it could have been probably worse. But again, I went right over. Again, like I say, I was probably a foot from shore in the bank there. I got back up, held onto it's got some weeds on me, and held onto that, and then grabbed the kayak, pulled it over. And so Brent and his son were still coming back down the river with the canoe, so I was yelling at them to kind of help me out and grab, saying there's a problem. I saw my hat float away, grab my hat, you know, it's very important. But also in this kayak, the front part here, there's this little day hatch, which really serves no purpose other than to throw junk in, and but there's a pouch in it, and that pouch, when the kayak tipped over, the pouch went right down and out, came right out, and I saw something float away, and I didn't know what the heck it was at the time, until about maybe 20 minutes later, and go, oh geez, my car keys were in that pouch. So, car keys, said goodbye. Now my phone that I was using to take videos, because the GoPro went goodbye earlier on, was in my life jacket, which I thought was not too bad, but it got some water in it, and it said, you know what, you've been around for 2 years, it's been a slice, I'm out of here. So it worked for maybe a few minutes after that. The screen went, and then everything went. Let's recap what I lost that day. Other than my dignity and my pride, I lost the GoPro. It was a GoPro 5. I lost the stand I was in. I lost the external mic that I had purchased maybe 4 weeks earlier, and of course the mechanism that attaches the external mic to the GoPro. I lost that. Lost my car keys with the little remote that I just got last fall, reprogrammed. And I lost the use of my cell phone, which I had 2 more payments on it to go and be fully mine. And that's what I lost. It was not a good day on Big Creek. I do not recommend going on Big Creek. I probably will never do that portion of Big Creek again. If you do go on Big Creek, I do recommend you go in at Rowan Mills and go south towards Port Royal and Long Point. That's probably the easiest, I'd say, route. You won't encounter many blowdowns that way. It's usually cleared because there is canoe and kayak groups that take paddlers and tourists down that way, so it's usually cleared out. The way we went, because we're stupid, is more for the very adventurous type. And if you check out our other canoe video we did on Big Creek, and how many portages and blowdowns we had to go around, all that stuff, all that fun stuff. Again, I say it's easier. It's much easier in a canoe than it is a kayak. I'd say, hey, if you're in your 20s, 30s, and you want some adventure and you want to get out there and really experience some wildlife, go in by County Road 8, go through all that mess, make a big day of it, enjoy it. Take a canoe though, don't kayak down that portion. So you ask, what are you doing these days? And where have you been for the past few months? How come you haven't released any videos? Well, I do have some videos to be released. I have to get around to editing it. The Big Creek fiasco kind of put a wrench in things. I have gone paddling in a canoe up north in the Lake of Bays, Oxtongue River. So that video will be coming out. That was a small family trip up there. So it'll just be more of a montage of our experiences, I think, put together. There's another video from earlier this year that I still haven't got out yet. Still editing that. And just things have been going on. July was such a rain out. Every time you wanted to get out, you have a day off from work, you want to get out, it was just rain, rain, and more rain, so it wasn't really worth getting out or trying to. I've had a backyard project on the go now that if I was in my 30s, it would have been done probably in 4 days. It's going on like, well, 5 weeks now, maybe more than that. Every time you think about it, I just go, I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. So now, after that fiasco on Big Creek, I have now a GoPro 8 attached to a Scotty, what is it? It's a Scotty, a Scotty gunnel attachment. It attaches to the kayak or to a canoe gunnel, and I've got that attached with the swivel here. And then I have cables running from my GoPro handle, the screw and attachment, around the kayak hole, around the day hatch, and coming back up and attaching that it will not go anywhere. If the clamp mount comes off of the kayak, the GoPro is on a airline cable attached to the kayak, and it is not going anywhere. My cell phone, my new cell phone, has a waterproof case, fully waterproof, tested waterproof, it's all good. And it too is attached to me, to my life jacket, and it too is not going anywhere. Well, it'll go with me, so if I go somewhere, it'll go with me. Early on, and if you see, I have a new jacket. It's a Salis Ungava, I guess you pronounce it. And I just got that this past week, 2 weeks ago. I've been hunting for this type of jacket all summer long. I'm not sure what's happening with the Salis brand, but they're not, can't find them in stores at the moment. So I did find this one in sale online. So it's a sale brand, but it is Salis Ungava. And so far, happy with it. So after that trip on Big Creek, I get home, I'm thinking, you know what, I still have video on my SD card on the phone, I bet. Okay, I'm back. Just had to change my SD card. As I'm talking about an SD card. So I'm thinking, all those videos I took before the disaster on Big Creek, they should still be on that card. So I check my SD card. There's videos on it and pictures on it. It's of like Christmas and other holidays from last year. No video files, no recent video files or pictures. And you want to know why? Because it was all going to the internal storage of the phone. And you want to know why? Because previously, a week before, 2 weeks before, there was a Android phone update. And on that update, I'm not sure why, some of the settings were changed. And instead of my videos and images, anything I'd done with the camera, instead of that going to record on my SD card, it was recording on the internal storage. Of course, I did not find that out until after the disaster on Big Creek. I hate going on about this, but the phone itself still has power going to it. You can feel it vibrate once in a while. You plug it in, so there is still a brain function in there, just nothing coming up on the screen. So I'm thinking the screen is probably gone on it. The rest of it's still probably working. So if I can find somebody to somehow get into it and get into that internal storage, and maybe, just maybe, I can pull off those video files. And if I can, I will post those video files, whatever's remaining on them, onto a new video. So we'll see about that. If you've seen one of my earlier videos this year, and how could you really miss it, I mentioned a few things that I wanted to get this year. One was a new life jacket, which I did. Oh geez, see, look at that. I'll zip that up. A new life jacket, done. Nothing. What was it? Oh, a fishnet. Not fishnet stockings. No! Totally different. And just, anyway. And that I got right down here. It's a folding net right here. Good for backpacking, camping, hiking, you know, all that stuff. It's right there. Anyway, it folds out and expands, I think probably about 2 feet. 2 feet. Okay. So I haven't really used it yet because I haven't been out with it. I haven't been in the kayak lately. And as you can see, nope, stop. There are no fish jumping around here at all. So earlier in the year, we had that, where are you? We had that big carp die off where there was probably, I'm gonna say at least 600, there's gotta be at least 600 of dead carp around this lake and down the river here. And last year I was out here around the same time, July-ish, I guess. So I guess not. So I missed July this year, so just over a year ago. And like I say, there's fish in schools. The carp are in schools, and they're up in the water. And I could easily just scoop them up, and I could have easily scooped them up earlier this year too, with the dead ones. And but we're not doing that. Like I said, I'm not doing the dead ones. But so I brought it out tonight just to see, just in case if there's some around that I could get close to and just scoop one of those suckers up and say, hey, look what I did. And everybody could be proud of me and give me a big thumbs up and subscribe and all that stuff. And hey, look at this guy, he can catch fish with a net. He's no fool. Anyway, I digress. So what else? So I said I wanted to get a net. I got it. New preserver, life preserver. Yes, got that. Oh, a new hat. Still working on the hat thing. Hat was put on the back burner for now. I had to make some rather immediate purchases after the disaster on Big Creek. Purchases that I wasn't expecting to make this year, like a new GoPro, a new cell phone, a new attachment to get the GoPro attached to the kayak, and like all these cables and stuff, and oh my lord, protective equipment, if you want to call it that, security equipment. So let's think about this. I've learned my lesson. I had waterproof pouches for my other cell phone. Did I bring it with me? No, didn't do that. I would usually attach the GoPro and the GoPro stand better to the kayak normally. Did I do that? Not this time. Not a Big Creek. Nope. Water levels are high. The flow was just going crazy. Think I'd do that? No. What else? Yeah, just I think it's a lesson for all of us is be prepared before you go out. Even if you think you're going to be okay, just be prepared. So this GoPro is GoPro 8. I am not going to get any external mic for it. I'm done with that. I thought it would be a good idea, and it probably would have been on the GoPro 5 that I had. It seemed to work pretty okay, but once you put an external mic on it, there goes your waterproofing of really the microphone itself is junk after that. And the camera itself, it's got a lot of different plugins and it's a lot of a hassle. So the main thing was I wanted to have better audio, less wind noise. There is a media mod sort of thing you can get for the GoPro 8, but once you stick that on, it's no longer waterproof. So what's the point to have a sports camera that's not waterproof anymore? So that idea is out the window. I'm just gonna go with this. There's wind noise, so be it. I will probably get some sort of wind muff for this thing. I know there's different ones on there, but The cheapest one I found so far is this. It's one of my daughter's hair bands, and you can just put this over here. I used it on the GoPro a couple times, and it seemed to, the GoPro 5 a couple times before it met its demise. And this actually looks stupid, but I think you can still hear me. It does cut out the wind noise, and I just have to put it around there, except for that hair on there. I just have to stick it around there. It looks like earmuffs for your GoPro. So if this works out, I'll probably buy a few of these, maybe just like in black, so you know, other paddlers going by like don't make fun of me. Like, look at that guy, he's got a weird sock on his camera. I'm sure they can point out other things to make fun of me for, other than that. Another thing I like with this Scotty mechanism, and I can't really show it to you because, well, the camera's like on it and I can't, anyway, but it has a swivel on it. Swivel, look at this. I can swivel right around. Whoa, look at that. Look at that. And that's really what I wanted to, is something with a swivel on it. I didn't have to unscrew and move around and unscrew and tighten back up again. So I should really try to paddle straight here. Maybe stop. So anyway, enough about Big Creek. Yay, you guys! See? Fans driving by up there. Love me. They love me. Or they're going, hey, there's that guy with the crazy sock on his camera. Moron. Any appreciation I get, good or bad, is well worth it. All the pigeons. Let's see, sunsets there. Nice. Too much sky. It's really a nice night for paddling. Water's really calm. I'm gonna pull off my little windsock here. See if that does anything. Yeah, let's keep it on around there. It's kind of a GoPro cozy, I want to call it that. The sun is still setting in the northwest, which is nice. Means there's still summer for a while yet. When the sun starts heading south, then we're in trouble. So it looks like I have about 20 minutes or so left out here before it gets darkish. I did hear some fish over here, and I just saw one. He's a jumping. He's a jumping carp. Let's see if I can find any over there. Oh, so you can hear them. Can you hear that? Sometimes you can see them really right near the surface here. Not for the noise I'm making now. trash. Very good. Oh yeah, look at that. First try, first try. Sour cream, good. Yeah, and that's another thing I really hate about what happened in Big Creek. Sure, I lost some camera equipment and whatever else, but here I am almost every video I'm talking about keeping our waterways safe and clean and stop dumping trash and garbage in it. And what really makes me mad is here I have a camera and other plastic component stuff into the water and contaminating water. I mean, there's a battery inside of there, and that kind of makes me mad too that I did that to myself, you know. And just should know better. So that's why from now on everything's tied down, secured. This attachment here, this clamp is really working good. Swivel, I love. Cable attachment. Not going. The fish just jumped. I just went past it. Yeah, he's making fun of me. You know, so I also harp on, you know, wearing a life preserver when you're out paddling. When you know, things can happen just like that out there, and I experienced it firsthand. And doesn't matter how much knowledge you have or skills you have, crap can happen in an instant. And I'm not saying I have a lot of paddling skills. You know, I'm a recreational kayaker and canoeist, so I'm not a professional doing this. This is just what I do for fun and enjoyment. But I do take the safety part of it seriously, or at least I thought I did. And that life jacket sure worked that day. Like I say, I was in and out of that water in a split second probably. So if I didn't have it, I don't know what would happen. I probably would be under there just a little bit longer and maybe push down the river a little bit too. But and you definitely don't want to be stuck underneath the blowdown, stuck underneath the tree in the water. That is probably one of the most frightening scenarios, and I don't want to think about it, and I'm glad it didn't happen. Oh yeah. Well, that one almost pooped on me. Oh, that's a defense mechanism, or they just really had to go. I'm glad I wasn't underneath that and looking up with my mouth open. Here's some more over here. Oh, there's a bunch. Look at all. Here they go. This could be some kind of duck. Is that some kind of duck? Do ducks go in trees? What kind of bird is that? If you know what kind of bird that is, and they're pooping again in the water, you know what bird that is, comment down below. Let me know. Is that a... I don't even want to guess. Okay, so I think that's going to do it for this paddle. Hope you enjoyed my narration, description of my disastrous Big Creek adventure. Big Creek Part 2. part 3. I'm sure I'll do Big Creek again, and I'm also sure I won't do that portion ever again. At least I highly doubt it. But Big Creek, Canada's Amazon, definitely worth the paddle. Did see a bald eagle this time. We saw quite a few last time, the first time we went down there. So there is lots of wildlife, lots to see down there, lots of birds. Don't get me wrong, I highly recommend going down Big Creek. Just maybe not that portion where all the trees are down, the blowdowns and stuff. And if you do go down there, prepare for an adventure. Definitely go in a canoe. I would not go in a kayak down there again. Especially with the water levels as high as they were and the currents as quick as they were at that time. Just be prepared, be safe. That's all. You know what? If I didn't have all this camera equipment and stuff like that on board, it would not have been a real big deal anyway, really. But, and most of you probably won't have GoPros and other stuff on you on your paddling journey. But definitely wear your life vest. It is worth the trip down there. It's always a successful paddle when you come back dry and with all your equipment. Till next time, see you guys. Hello everyone, if you like our videos and you want to see more videos just like this, please like, share, and subscribe below. And also hit that notification bell so YouTube reminds you when we have a new video up. And if you're a paddler out on the water, a canoe or kayak or anywhere on the water, please always wear your PFD. Let's do safety first, and then we go have some fun. So get out there and get lost.